Kwaku, how are you?
Hello, Mrs. Perry. I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today to talk a little bit about our pharmacy program and a little bit about how you started and how you're feeling now. What year are you in now?
I'm in fourth year, final year.
Oh wow, yes. So you're nearly finished.
Yeah, can't wait.
Very exciting. Okay, Kwaku, maybe we should just start at the beginning for our audience, our students that are coming to, thinking about coming to the pharmacy department. As you know, the AS score for pharmacy is 410, and I know at all the open days we get a lot of questions about our subjects and what we need for the different subjects and what they need to get in. So maybe you can give us a little, you can tell us what were your school subjects?
Okay, so I did the science stream. So I did physical sciences, I did mathematical, life sciences, and geography. So in all my subjects, I got 60% and above, can't say the other grades. And then for English, I think I got 70 something, I'm not sure. And then I think that paved my way for the pharmacy degree, because one of the requirements is to have physical sciences. It is to have mathematics as well. So those were the minimum requirements at the time. It was 60% the minimum, and I got the minimum, fortunately, and I got in the program, so yeah.
Excellent, well done. And I always tell my students that when they're starting to feel like they're struggling a little bit during the program, I always say to them, you guys got in. You got in with these fantastic marks, and a lot of the students were, I'm sure that you were also in some of the top of your class as well. So yeah, science and maths is very important. I know I heard you say you did life science, so that was an advantage, but it wasn't necessary. Yeah. So for our students, prospective students, you don't have to do life science. So science is very important, maths, and then obviously English as well, as either as a first or second language on a certain level. So yeah, I think that's sort of where we start with, you know, that's the first question I always get is, what do we need to get in? The next question students always ask me is not so much about what, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do in pharmacy, but they always say, well, what can I do and what can I earn? So we won't talk about the salaries today, but what were your thoughts when you first came into pharmacy? Where did you envision yourself when you started, and now when you're in fourth year, when you're leaving, what are you at? Do you know what you're going to do? So let's start with before you started studying.
Okay, so I think as many people would assume what pharmacy is, counting pills, being cashiers for medications. So that's what I actually thought too. But as I went through the degree, second year, third year, now final year, I've actually just saw that it's more than just counting pills. It's more than being a cashier, right? So in pharmacy, there's many things that you can do. It's a very diverse profession, right? So you can do community pharmacy, you can do industrial pharmacy, manufacturing, academic, right? So now that I'm in fourth year, I can envision myself being in a community pharmacy stream, I would say, and hospital too, because I believe in helping people. I believe in the interaction between the patient and myself, and I believe that is one of the most important things as a pharmacist, because once you get through here, it's all about you, patient safety, efficacy, and everything else. So I think that's how I see pharmacy now. It's more than just studying pills, studying medication. It's about how you interact with the people out there, how you see the views of the patients as well. So yeah.
Oh, I love your answer. I really do. And we do get that at open days and with students, people that have never been, some haven't been into some of the pharmacies, or you know, aren't experienced in what a pharmacist is. So that preconception of just being a pill counter is definitely there, but you know, it's all about, as you say, patient safety. And you mentioned it's community pharmacy, which is like your where you go and you take your script and you get your medicine. It's hospital pharmacy, primary health care. healthcare pharmacy. A lot of people might have gone to a clinic and there's the pharmacist there, or a post-basic pharmacist assistant perhaps, that hands out the medicine. And then you've got wholesale as well, and industry, very exciting. So if you want to design and develop new drugs, then you'd go into industry and research. So there are a lot of areas that you can actually work, and I think that's what makes the degree so interesting and exciting, because if you don't really like interacting with people, most of us pharmacists are people's people. We like interacting and talking, and we want that connection with the patients. But there are many people that maybe don't want that, and then they can go and work in industry as well. And they can work in research or drug development or logistics. There's so many areas that you can work. So perhaps moving into let's talk a little bit about the actual program, because that's also one of the questions that we get asked is, what do we actually do when we get there? What modules I suppose a student wouldn't call them modules, they would call them subjects. What subjects do we do? So in first year, pharmacy is we call it our sort of our base, our scaffolding year, where we do some modules that are building blocks for the subsequent years. So in the first year, I'm sure you recall, in first year, you only see, I think, 2 of your subjects are with actual pharmacists and from the pharmacy department. Everything else is in the sciences or in anatomy and physiology. You've got physics, you've got chemistry. So you don't actually, you're doing those base modules. After that, in second year, you then start becoming much more focused, and we start doing pharmacology in second year. We do pharmacokinetics. There's lots of different ones. Maybe you can, we progress from that. And as each year goes along, and I'm going to ask you for your experience now, we also have, in fact, from going forward, we've actually got work-based learning that will start already in first year. So we've got work-based learning throughout the program, which means an experience of what's happening when you actually work as a pharmacist. Because like you said, you come from maybe you've never been in a pharmacy or in the dispensary, you don't even know what they do. So to be able to understand what's happening in a pharmacy already when you're studying is very important, because you can put the theory with the actual practical. So maybe I must hand over to you a little bit so that you can share a little bit about the type of modules you do. And I know we've had a chat, and I mean, we don't all tell everyone how we struggle with something, but it's very important to understand that not everything is easy when you get into our degree. And I'm sure you'll agree that you have friends at university that maybe you work a lot harder than them, depending on what career they've chosen or what line they've chosen. And pharmacy is it's a tough degree. So let me stop talking a little bit, and I think I've given you some food for thought to give us some input from your side as a student.
What I can say is that mindset is very important when doing this degree, because you're coming from high school, you've been passing with flying colors, you've been doing well your whole life, and now you're here, you're doing your first year, and it all goes south. You're getting 50s, you're getting 60s, and it's like just out of the way for you. So I feel like mindset is very important in that regards, because you know why you're here. You know why you're here, and you have to work your way through.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Exactly. So it's not like high school. There's a very big transition between high school and university, and you have to go with it, or else you'll fall behind, right? So what I saw in first year is that you have to keep up with your work. You have to know everything when everything is asked, right? And I feel like it was a big shift for me, because I'm from high school, and now there are these big buildings and everything else. So, but I worked my way through it and found my ground, stood up, and then worked towards my goal. Because all I wanted to be was a pharmacist at the end of the day. But I didn't quite get the gist in first year, because what are we doing? Why are we having
Where's the pills that I must count?
Exactly. So, but as I went to second year, it was a big shift also, because I now understood what I have to know to actually be a pharmacist, pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and everything else. So, and also progressing to third year where it all begins. It's a very hard year. And yeah, so I would say, in my opinion, is that pharmacy, the years as you go through, it does become a bit easier. If you fix your mindset, of course, it does become a bit easier and manageable. I think manageable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I just want to pick up on what you said, is how difficult it can be, and I know you mentioned to me before that you're not from yourself. Where are you from again?
I'm from Cape Town.
You're from Cape Town.
Yes.
So you came here, and did you have a lot of friends that you were studying with?
No.
No.
In first year, I used to be alone. Be alone. That's why it was a bit hard for me.
Hard, yes, yes.
So that's why I would also say I would advise someone to have friends in first year. It's a terrible year to be alone.
Yes.
So I would advise someone to actually be with someone.
Put
have
yourself
friends.
out there.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
There are group works, there are presentations. You have to have people that you can trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also coming from that different environment, we do find, so in the department, we often, what we are doing is we have one-on-one meetings with students if we see that they are struggling. Not in the first 3 months. There's always a bit of a transition period where students are coming into the university from school, like you said, and it's so different. So what we do is we try to offer the university and the department, give something. I'm sure you know Mrs. Blykies, who gives the thing on study techniques, and we try to supplement the program with some kind of scaffolding that can help you at different levels. So it might be study techniques when you get here, to try to get your mind around the volume of work that you've now got compared to maybe school. That was the one thing. And there's also other structures in place at the university. We've got, and I think we'll talk about that later, peer mentors, and you're one of those, yes. Flying our flag very high. So we've got peer mentors where senior students are working with the first years. Someone, like you say, you're alone, but it would be nice to have somebody to talk to. So the mentors aren't just there for theory and for modules, they're often there for a personal touch as well. We also have our disability units. If students need extra time when they're writing exams, you can be assessed for that. We also have, I'm trying to think of all the different systems that we've got in place. We've got Mtongeni, which is our psychology department that actually run, and students can make appointments if they're feeling overwhelmed and they're feeling perhaps that they've got nobody to talk to, that they've actually got someone to talk to. So we've got that as well. We've got food drives. Hunger is a big problem with our students as well, especially coming from another town, or they're not at home anymore. Like I'm sure you were. Now you've got to cook your own food, and sometimes the funding isn't always there. And so we've got a lot of support systems there, the faculty and the department. We've got the Ubuntu drive, the faculty, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's a food drive for the faculty students, and they can register and actually get food packs. They can go and collect food packs that help a lot, because we know all of these things will affect the way you study and how you study and your environment. So what I was going to say is, so there's all of that support. We also have tutors that for specific, more difficult subjects. And I know you said anatomy and physiology is quite tough in first year. I can probably pick out some of our pharmacology modules in third year. And in those modules, we, as a department, we try our best to have some scaffolding. We don't have private one-on-one tutoring like maybe other people might think of tutoring. It's usually group work, and it's help with before exams and before tests and that kind of thing. So we have that in place as well. But let's move on. Anything else from that side that you wanted to say?
I also wanted to add on the benefits of actually attending these things, attending the motivational talks, the study guides for the exams and everything. Because I think also in our second year and third year, we had Miss Ronelle Plages. Because for myself, I didn't even know how to study. Because in high school, I used to just sit with my book and then it's all, I get 70s, I get 80s, and that would be it. But then university, it's not all about that. You can't just cram and then you actually pass.
Yes.
There's a thin line between that. So being involved in those kind of activities, it helped me to actually know what exactly to study and what to actually cram in a way. So I feel like those motivational talks, those study guides and everything helped me, because I also didn't have those timetables to actually know what are you doing on this day, what are you doing on this day. I used to just freestyle my days and everything.
And so do you use those now?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
good.
And it keeps a person disciplined, I can say. So I think those are very good methods in the pharmacy department and the Faculty of Health Sciences. And also moving to the peer mentoring. I'm a peer mentor myself, and I feel like it's very beneficial, especially to first years who have no idea what's going on. I also had a student whereby they were not even sure to do pharmacy anymore.
Sure.
They have no idea on what exactly are they doing here, why are they here. These modules seem to not integrate with anything pharmacy related. And actually having talks with them, actually guiding them on how they can transition into the pharmacy stream, because it's not all about the pills and everything. You have to know the basics first. You can't just jump to making pills. You have to understand how they work in the body, right? So I feel like the activities and the methods that are implemented in the department are very good and beneficial to the students, and the support from Mtonjeni, as you said. I also have another student who is attending at the Mtonjeni, and I think it's been very helpful considering where he's coming from and everything else. So yeah, I think the methods in place are very good for the students.
I'm glad to hear that, and I've heard a lot of students come back and give feedback about that, because it is very exciting when you make it into university and your parents are so proud of you, or your caregivers or your friends are so proud of you. You made it, and fantastic. And sometimes we do. I think I like what you said about keeping your eye on the prize and focus. It is difficult, but if it was easy, there would be more people doing it. So there is a reward at the end, and I think it's an incredible career to go into, pharmacy, to be part of the healthcare team. That's also, I know you said you quite like the idea of hospital, and there you're really working with other healthcare professionals and being part of this, really just looking at the patient and getting the patient better. So pharmacy teaches you hard work and commitment and a process, really understanding a process. So B-Pharm is a professional degree, and you become a pharmacist after 4 years of studies. You first do your internship after that, 4 years, and then you do your community service for another year. That was another question that we often get from our students. So it's a 4-year degree with a 1-year internship that you apply for, and then your community service, you get placed, so you apply for that. And part of the degree is, or part of being a pharmacist already from first year, is that, and you will know as well, that you are registered with the South African Pharmacy Council, the professional body that oversees all pharmacists in South Africa. So you register already with them in first year. They also oversee the program, the degree that we offer, and they come and do accreditation visits every 4 years that they check that we are complying to the standards of education. And part of that is actually making sure also that our students do work-based learning. And I know that that's quite a buzzword, and it's very, very important that our students are integrated and understand a little bit about what's happening in practice of pharmacy by the time they leave and start working. So perhaps we must talk a little bit about work-based learning. In first year, there's altogether, I think, and I stand corrected, it's about 480 hours, 400 hours over the 4 years that you have to do of work-based learning, and it gets split from first year to fourth year. In first year, there will be some connections, possibly with, we're still looking at the first year work-based learning, but there will be about 40 hours in first year. And then the rest is split over second, third, and fourth year. But perhaps, Kwaku, maybe you can give us a little bit of insight into the work-based learning that you've been involved in BFarm.
Okay. So we started in second year with our work integrated learning. So we were placed into different clinics, right? We were placed into different clinics and others into actual pharmacy, like clinics, desk chem, whatever. And I believe that was a great opportunity for me, because that's where you actually grasp how being a pharmacist can be, I think. And it's where most people, it's what they mostly enjoy, because you get to feel what you can do in a pharmacy setting. And also I feel like people from first year, because in first year I didn't even know what pharmacy is. I just wanted to be a pharmacist, but I didn't actually understand what it takes to be a pharmacist. So I feel like those opportunities that were granted in second year, third year, and now fourth year give you an idea of what actually pharmacy is and being a pharmacist.
And what you might want to do one day.
Exactly, because it's a very broad career. So you can actually be there to actually choose what you want to be in future, right? Despite being a pharmacist, because there are many sectors in it, right? So we did that in second year for a week, I think. And then in third year now, we did 2 weeks in a clinic.
Yes, primary healthcare.
Primary healthcare. And it was so much eye-opening for me, I think, because that's where you actually get to see that you want to make a difference. I feel like clinics, that's where you can actually see that you want to make a difference in the patients' lives and everything. So, and then now in fourth year, we are placed in different local hospitals, like Doranginza Provincial Hospital, Livingston. And I feel like for myself now currently, it's a great opportunity, I think, because you now get to actually see what sector do you actually want, right? Because you also go to industry like Aspen. So you get to see what you want for yourself just after community service, what sector do you actually want to go into. So I feel like it's a very big opportunity, and we're grateful for that. And yes. Yeah,
and also I'm sure it helps you when you are doing your theory and your modules. Like you say, to put the pieces together, that, okay, now I understand why. I mean, I know, I suppose any fourth year or any student before you even start pharmacy would have heard about the SOAPs. So the hospital rotation. So this is in fourth year, where the students go into hospital. They actually do ward rounds, and they listen to the patient's history. And then afterwards they analyze the patient's folder and the patient's medical history and the medicine that the patient's on. And then you actually have to give your opinions and base it on the facts that you've learned, everything that you've learned in third and fourth year. So that becomes it's where everything culminates into that fourth year, everything that you've already learned.
And I feel like it's a very great opportunity for us as pharmacists as well, because you get to actually apply your knowledge into decision making, because that's all it's about at the end of the day, having to make a decision upon your patient. So I feel like it's a very great opportunity for us as students now, because going into the workplace, it's going to be a bit easier because you have gone through these challenges. You know that your voice matters as a pharmacist. Yeah, so I think it's a
So now I'm listening to you and you sound very excited about pharmacy, but have you thought about postgraduate studies?
Not really, not really.
Okay, so let me quickly find out from you. Have you got your internship sorted out?
I think by the end of June, I will.
Okay,
Yes.
so you apply to different ones and then they place you, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and as an intern, you are still registered, you're a registered, you're a qualified pharmacist, but you're not registered to practice yet. You have to finish your 1 year.
Yes.
And then you get placed. And community service, are you going to go back to Cape Town?
I don't want to. I just want to
Okay.
explore, be in different places, learning about different people and conditions. So
And I've heard that as well. I've heard the community service is an exciting year because you can go and be in a place that you've never thought that you'll be in before, and you're in a lovely group with other healthcare professionals. So community service can be very nice, and the nice part of that is that you get paid as a fully qualified pharmacist. Pretty close when you're an intern as well, but when you're a ComServe, you are fully paid, so that's really nice. So maybe just tracking back a little bit to our postgraduate studies, and if you wanted to, I've had a few students approaching me that if you've decided you want to go into academia and you maybe want to research further, at the end of your 4th year, you can then apply for an academic internship. So you can actually continue studying and do a full-time master's, which would take you up to 2 years, full-time master's, but integrated and do your internship at the same time. So that's an academic internship, but if you didn't want to do that, you could maybe go and do your internship, do your ComServe, and a few years down the line, in my case it was quite a few years down the line, I decided to come back and do my master's, my postgraduate studies. So at NMU in the pharmacy department, we offer a research master's, but then we also have coursework masters. At the moment, I don't think there's an intake for next year for our industrial coursework masters, but we've got a lot of, there's a new one coming up, clinical coursework masters, which is very much based on hospital, so that isn't yet there. But the difference with the coursework masters is you do some theory and then you have a research portion. So you write exams, you've got theory, you do those exams, and then you get taught as well, you get lectured, and then for the second half you actually have a proper research project that you do. So coursework is really nice as an option. We often get the industrial guys coming, and then also hospitals. Pharmacists that are in practice, they want to specialize. We hear it all the time. Please, we want to specialize. We want to do the dispensing course. We want to do this course. We want to do that course. There's an immunization course that pharmacists can do. There's loads of different short learning programs. So pharmacists they're lifelong learners usually, because after 4 years you have to just keep learning as a pharmacist. Yeah. You're always going to read, you're always going to be a lifelong learner. So coursework in masters are there, but also we've got an M.Pharm, a master's in pharmacy, that's the research pharmacy. So I did that, and a lot of people come back later, and you can do it full-time or we can do it part-time, so you can be studying. I have a student currently that is working as a full-time community pharmacist, and she is doing part-time studies. That will take her up to 4 years to do her master's, but she's got a desire to do it, and she wants to do that. So postgraduate studies are very exciting. Obviously that's master's, but going into PhD, we have quite a few staff that are professors, and that have not necessarily even professors, that are doctors and have their PhD, and they supervise students that want to do their PhD studies, either full-time or part-time. We have pharmaceutical chemistry, we have in all the streams, so pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacy practice, pharmacology, clinical, what am I missing? Pharmaceutics, the more making of the tablets and the industry side. So there's a lot of different areas of research as well that our department, that we have supervisors that can offer. So maybe I've made you think about...
Yes. And what I wanted to say is that in the B.Pharm program in 4th year, we also have elective modules whereby you choose whether you want to do mainly research or research with coursework, right? I think that also gives you guidance to postgraduate studies, I think, because it's where you get the basics of research, what to do to actually be a research academic and everything. So I think it's a very good final year program, the research electives and everything, to be actually to actually equip you into, if you want to do to understand what's required of you in the research projects, in your master's degree, in PhD and everything else.
And then we also use a lot of our postgrads. Our postgrads are often involved in tutoring our students as well. They also get involved in a little bit of lecturing, usually assistant or more in the smaller groups. So they get involved in our department, which is, by the way, at South Campus. I don't think we've mentioned where we are. But yeah, we also encourage people to come into the department and come and see, come and email us and make an appointment. We've got staff that would love to talk about our department all day long. So, but Kwako, I think that's about all for today.
Yeah.
Did you want to add anything else?
No, I think I just want to say something about if actually someone wants to come and study pharmacy. It's a very great degree with very diverse career paths, I can say. So come and enjoy, I think. Yeah.
Thanks.